What's up, guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, JNO, and welcome to the Transfer Targets review video for 2019-20 season for Arsenal. This is hopefully a series that I will try and do for every club, but we'll see about that. But we will cover some of the major clubs in the Premier League, see who may be leaving, who may be coming in, see if they're rebuilding towards a stronger season, or if they're just completely restructuring because they had a terrible one last year. And we start off this series with Arsenal. Now, as soon as transfers do actually get confirmed, we will also hopefully cover those transfers and their potential in the Premier League, if of course they've come from outside the Premier League, or their potential at their new club in the Premier League. But right now we are going to speculate over what could be happening at Arsenal. And we first off start with who has left. So far out of the club at the end of the season just gone is Aaron Ramsey has left the club to Juventus on a free transfer. Now personally, I was always a big fan of Aaron Ramsey when he wasn't injured. He always was a very good midfielder in my eyes, would always get the job done that he was put on the pitch to do, and was a driving force in that midfield to get forward and make things happen. He was always a player that I was very fond of, and he wanted pay parity at Arsenal, which of course Arsenal didn't really want to do because they want to keep their wage bill under control. So Aaron Ramsey has left and gone to Juventus, which I think could potentially be a great move for him. It'd be very interesting to see how he does in the Serie A. And Peter Cech has also retired, which means Bernard Leno is the man in goal for Arsenal so far going into the 2019-20 season. Now, we will speculate what Arsenal are going to do about that goalkeeping position, but I do believe personally that they should bring someone in to challenge Bernard Leno in goal. Then we have Danny Welbeck and Stefan Lichtsteiner also released from Arsenal. Now, Danny Welbeck has been one of those players that has always had so much potential, but injuries have always kind of got in the way of it. Arsenal took a risk on him, it hasn't really played off. Now Danny Welbeck is available for a free transfer. I'm assuming another Premier League club will take a risk on him, but I can completely understand why Arsenal have let him go. And Stefan Lichtsteiner, again, with Emery probably coming in to restructure the club in his vision, maybe he didn't potentially fit in with the visions that Emery has. Rumoured to leave as well, we have the latest rumour, which has only just come out. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is apparently getting his eye turned by some big money moves, potentially to China. Now, I personally hope this doesn't happen. Emerick Aubameyang was one of the best strikers last season, of course, getting the golden boot, but he has apparently removed all mentions of Arsenal from his Instagram page. Now, we'll see where this goes. I really hope he doesn't go to China, and I assume Emery will want to try and keep Aubameyang at the club. I will be keeping my eye on this and update you as soon as we hear anything else. Mesut Ozil is a long-rumoured potential transfer out. There's no actual club, as far as I'm aware, that are majorly interested in him, but I have heard that Arsenal are willing to pay for part of his contract to get him out of the club potentially. That's a rumour flying around. So Mesut Ozil could be another one to leave the club. Then we have three more midfielders, all rumoured to have clubs either interested in them or potentially that Arsenal are willing to sell to generate some cash. Mohamed El Neni and Granit Xhaka have been linked with other clubs. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to move, but there's the potential for it. Besiktas from the Turkish league are interested in El Neni, and Granit Xhaka has caught the interest of Inter Milan. So that could mean a massive restructuring in midfield, and also I believe goalkeeper, they need someone to be brought in, and defence as well. Now if they keep Aubameyang and Lacazette, I think the forward position is pretty much covered, and Arsenal do have youngsters coming up like Maitland-Niles and Willock, who could potentially come in and do a job, but Arsenal have been linked with a lot of players leading up to this transfer window, and let's have a look at some of the players that they could be getting in and who I think could be a good fit and also a likely transfer for Arsenal. So we start off with goalkeepers. Now there is a rumour, this was a very early rumour, almost way back in February, that they will just be happy with Emiliano Martinez returning from Reading on loan and being the backup to Bernard Leno, which is an option. He had a decent season at Reading, getting an average rating of 6.99 on Who Scored, but they also have more recently this month been linked with, I won't try and say his first name because I will butcher it, but Radu from Inter Milan possibly coming in to challenge Bernard Leno for that number one spot. However, he got a 6.63 average rating last season. However, I don't believe he was the first choice, so that could be skewed because of that. We then have defence, and Arsenal have been linked with a lot of defenders. Now, there are some very interesting ones that I believe, if they can get, could be a great fit for Arsenal. One of them is Jerome Boateng from Bayern Munich, potentially available for 20 million, as Bayern Munich have said he can leave the club. 2 assists and a 6.87 average rating last season. He isn't as in favour at Bayern Munich as he used to be, and Jerome Boateng has that experience of European football and top flight football that I believe could be beneficial for Arsenal. I'm just not 100% sure Boateng would want to go to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, of course, are a big club who could potentially get back into that top 4 and get Champions League football in one season. But if I was Boateng, would I look at Arsenal and think that is my destination? I'm not 100% sure. He has had great success outside of the English League, but he didn't exactly cause a splash inside the Premier League. A transfer that I do think is possible and that they should go after, however, is Thomas Meunier from PSG. This is also a recent rumour. He last season got 3 goals, 3 assists and an average rating of 7.07 on Who Scored. And Meunier has links to Emery, so potentially this could be something that can happen because of that manager link to the player. And I definitely think he would be a great addition. Someone that's able to play right back as well as central defensive midfield. So Meunier would be a great pickup in my eyes, as is Samuel Umtiti, who hasn't had the best season at Barcelona. This was rumoured back in April, but 1 assist and a 6.60 average rating at Barcelona. With De Ligt potentially coming in for Barcelona, there may not be as many opportunities for Samuel Umtiti, who hasn't impressed massively at Barcelona this season. However, he could be a great fit for Arsenal and would definitely strengthen their defence. Other players that could potentially move, we have Walter Kahneman from Grêmio in Brazil, 7.24 average rating in the season just gone. Kieran Tierney from Celtic, Michael Keane, which could be a good addition, still a young player that has potential and a lot to offer a big club. And Digne from Getafe, also a player Arsenal are interested, as well as Alejandro Grimaldo from Benfica, all players that could offer something for Arsenal in that defence. We move on to the midfield, and with so many midfielders potentially moving, and I believe Emery wanting to restructure that midfield anyway, there are a lot of midfielders that have been linked to Arsenal. Now, I've added Wilfried Zaha as a midfielder, but of course he is capable of playing up front. That is one that has been strongly linked, and also I think a potential good fit for Arsenal. However, I know Crystal Palace are going to ask for a lot of money. 10 goals, 5 assists last season with a 7.21 average rating. Wilfried Zaha could be a great addition to replace the likes of Mkhitaryan. Ryan Fraser is also another Premier League player that has been linked with Arsenal from Bournemouth, but again, I think Bournemouth are going to ask for a lot of money there. 7 goals and 14 assists with a 7.08 average rating last season. I think both players would be great additions. I just think Arsenal may be made to pay a lot of money for those. They have also been looking elsewhere. Hakim Ziyech from Ajax is someone they're looking at. However, with Ajax's success recently and with how many clubs are interested in Ziyech, I'm not sure Arsenal have the pulling power without Champions League football to bring him in. Outside of those players, Ivan Perisic is a rumoured player that Arsenal are interested in, as is Yannick Carrasco. However, that's been a long-running rumour with those two, so we'll see if those come to fruition. Andre Gomez is someone they are also interested in, but of course a lot of Premier League clubs seem to have interest in them. And then there's a lot of other midfielders which I'm not too sure about. They seem pretty bland midfielders to be linked with for Arsenal. Now, my knowledge of other leagues isn't fantastic, so apologies if I have offended anyone that is fans of these players or the clubs that these players play for. But Dennis Praet, Nicolo Barella, Joan Jordan and Gelson Martinez don't really fill me with that much interest. However, they are also interested in Steven Nzonzi from Roma, who has been told by Roma he can leave. 1 goal, 2 assists, 7.06 average rating. But he would add some bite to that midfield that could be something Arsenal are missing. And then just in case Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang does leave the club, we have got 2 strikers that they have been linked in, but I'm assuming a lot more strikers will come to the fore as players Arsenal are linked in with as this story continues. Alexis Claude Maurice from Lorente in League 2 in France is a player that they have been linked with. However, West Ham have apparently made a 10 million bid today for this transfer. I'm filming this on Thursday, the 6th of June, so potentially he could be going to West Ham, but Arsenal have been linked with him. 14 goals in League 2 last season. And Gabriel Martinelli from Ituano FC. probably butchered that name, was rumoured transfer of a player they were interested in, 17-year-old in Brazil. That was a rumoured transfer in April. Maybe they are still looking at him. But to be honest, I think they'll be linked with bigger strikers should Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's rumoured move away from Arsenal come to fruition. So guys, let me know who you think Arsenal should sign and who they will sign in the comments down below. And hopefully we will keep up to date with any officially made transfers for Arsenal and every other club in the Premier League. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as hitting that notification bell so you know when my videos go live. Let me also know in the comments down below which club you want me to look at next for this Transfer Target series. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.